Yo, what's up, everybody?
What up, what up?
We good, fellas?
Yes.
Welcome. You guys are tuned into the Bsidesports show here at bsideshow.net. We are here. My name is Ralph Figueroa. I'm your host, as always. And I'm going to introduce the Bsidesports team. Give it up for my boy, Eric J.
What up, what up? I am Eric J. and I am the founder of the All-Women's Tulip Gardening Club.
The what? The Tulip Gardening Club?
Yes.
Why? How'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
Because there's nothing more beautiful than watching women plant tulips.
Oh, yes.
Love 'em.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Nice.
Creepy. And then we've of course we've got our lovable, huggable little light-skinned little. We call him Polvo.
Shaye Wizzle.
Shaye
Yes,
Wizzle,
sir, yes,
also
sir.
known as Shaye Whitey. Everybody.
Shaye
What's
Whitey,
up,
give it
Shaye
up.
Whitey here in the house.
What's
I'm
up,
not the
man?
founder of anything.
Oh.
One day I'm gonna.
He's a seeker. He's
He's gonna find himself.
Yeah.
He's a looker.
Still
He's a
trying to do
looker.
that, yeah.
He's a looker looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
All right.
Only in the mirror.
So what's up, Shaye? What have you been up to, man?
Oh man, just here at the studio at the shop, real busy, man. We got so much going on with the channel and the shop. And we actually just yesterday, our own Wacko from the B-Side channel, one of the directors of the B-Side show, he put together a little spoken word poetry event. So we went down to check that out. We caught the end of it, so that was pretty cool.
Like poetry type stuff?
Yeah, poetry, spoken
Nice.
word poetry. So yeah, and it's real. Like they get really passionate about that stuff. So it's kind of some good stuff.
Roses
we
are
missed all
red.
the good one. Yeah.
Violets are
And
red.
whatever the
Shaye-
subject
and
matter
Whitey
is
white.
Yeah, I'm actually I want to do one. I'm gonna practice one. It's gonna be about like a bowel movement, but I'm gonna get really passionate about it. Like I'm gonna describe the feeling.
Are you gonna
within.
chat on stage?
I might even cry like during the whole like.
You might even
Shed
crap.
a
Did you say
tear.
crap or
We
crap?
were just singing a song earlier before we started today, and
Yes.
it was what were we singing, Eric?
About shatting?
About shatting?
Yeah.
Yes.
We weren't shatting around, I'll tell you that.
And we have more on that.
It was
later.
called no, it was what song was it that we were singing, dude? Defecation.
Yeah, by cooling the crap. Culo and crap.
That was
That was
hilarious.
a great
dude.
interpretation of celebration to be
Yeah,
We come up with a lot of songs before we start the
Yeah,
show.
you guys don't
That's
even know.
pretty crazy.
We should do the B-side to the B-side. That's I don't know
exactly.
what you know what I mean. There should be like the unedited version because
Yeah.
you guys don't even know. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
but
Uncensored.
I know uncensored. I mean, but the that you can find on all our social media at B-Side Sports Show. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter.
Clubfootedtwins.com.
Nice. What else are we on? We're on J-Date.
The Chunky Ninjas.
Chunky Ninjas, of course. Shout out to them.
Farmers Tan only.
Chicks with, that's cool. Whatever. .com. Mm-hmm.
Mogul space.
We're still on MySpace, believe it or not. That's pretty awesome.
It's
So,
the best.
Yes,
So-
we're gonna have Tom on the show soon. Tom
Yeah.
from MySpace.
did you guys have a good
He's my
week? I
friend.
mean, did you guys have a good week? What's up with you guys?
I had a good. I actually ran into producer extraordinaire Brian Grazer.
What?
Oh,
Yes.
Like
doing,
you saw? Like he looks
like-
busted, huh?
He looks like
Just like my bracket, huh?
like a like Jughead from the Archie comics, but like old and with spiky hair.
Ah.
So he was right there, right, and he's like, "Scram, kid, you bother me."
Where were you at?
I was right off of 3rd Street in like Fairfax area, like around that
nice.
area, doing my thing. And he
Is
was
that
there
the
doing
same
his
spot
thing.
where you saw Ron Jeremy and Larry Flint?
No,
Was it the
those
same area?
those
Or-
were secret locations. You
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
even supposed to know. I wasn't
Oh,
even supposed to.
That's
be there.
G14 classified Shaye.
Okay, sorry.
Yo, fool, get out of my business.
What about you, Shaye? Did you do anything this week? Or?
Just other than that, we did the poetry thing last night. Check that out, and then I was here working at the shop. So if I want to check out the shop, 130 Shoppers Lane. We're actually open during the week too, but I'm usually here on the weekend. And we have here's just actually an example of something you can get from the shop.
Oh, we got the model looking at
it's
him.
this is by Hobos, which is one of the brands that we have here, and they're actually really dope. But this is like a themed like the king.
And hopefully, if
stuff.
you don't spend too much money, you won't become a hobo.
Yeah.
Shay also modeled for the handicap sign.
Before and after.
He's a stick figure.
Yeah.
He's general. He works on anything.
Remember
so.
those comics where the
General.
kid the comics of the ads where the kid's getting sand kicked in his face and then so he has to go back.
The Bazooka Joe comics.
The
that was
Bazooka
me.
Joe. Ugh.
And he became Charlie Atlas.
Charlie Atlas.
He's
Remember
got great
that thing where
glutes. Shay, turn around and show. That's the only buff thing in his body. Great glutes. The rest is all like impaled. Like
All the rest is just kind of hanging on, but whatever.
Yeah, man.
But check out his butt.
I know, right? So, man, I had a crazy week this week.
Yeah,
man.
how was it?
I had a good week. I was at the Ontario Improv this week.
Nice.
So I went and I was hanging out with Martin Moreno. You know, he tours around with Gabriel Iglesias. So he had a show. It was pretty packed, dude.
Martin.
Yeah, it was a good turnout. And then I did a show in Sage. in Whittier. It's this club over there. Man, if it was a fundraiser for for a local team. You know, they raise money for their softball teams and stuff like that. So it was the Montebello Ponytail or something like that. Man, there was like 200 plus people up in there.
Really?
It was crazy, dude. The energy, man. And so we had a great time. A lot of great comics. And then last night I was at the Ice House, dude.
I heard that was good.
It was sold out.
It always jumps
dude.
there.
Yeah, it was sold out. So yeah, we're just we're going out there doing our thing, having
You're
fun.
getting your hustle on.
Yeah, man. That's what we got to do, and then that's what we get ready for Sunday, and we come in and we do our sports because there's a lot of stuff that we're gonna cover this week.
Nice.
Especially with the March Madness. We got baseball coming up.
Baseball's about to begin.
Yeah, they're already starting to pick out their new rotations and stuff like that, and they're getting the starting pitchers. So we're gonna get the show started in a minute, but of course we got cover the rest of the topics. We've got the athlete birthdays. We got this week in sports history. Who's in trouble? WrestleMania review. We're gonna do that today.
Yeah, that's actually tonight. So I'll talk a little bit about what's.
All right, brother. All right.
Yeah,
Slap in
brother.
Yeah. And then of course we're gonna do our shout outs at the end. So once again, you guys are tuned into the Bsidesports show here at bsideshow.net, and you can find us on all our social media at Bsidesports Show, and you can email us at bsidesportshow@gmail.com. So support us on our channel. So we're gonna move on to our first segment. We're gonna get into the trending hot topics. Go ahead, hit it, Drakk.
Hot and so hot and hurt, so hot
From now on, I'm never gonna think of that song the same.
Why?
Because ever since that time, I like it's cotton. I don't know.
Maybe he had an ear infection. He had cotton in his ear.
Cotton, is that what it was?
That, and he loves his T-shirts.
Maybe.
The song makes me think of Eric now.
I know, right? Now it's like I can't.
Now you have to eat your Cheerios.
I can't undo that. So, trending hot topics, everybody here with the B-Side Sports Show. We have a couple deaths in sports. Hot Rod Hundley, the beloved longtime radio and television broadcaster of the Utah Jazz, died on Friday in Phoenix. He was 80 years old. Seattle Mariners pitching prospect. I don't know if you guys heard about this one. Victor Sanchez. He died yesterday, 6 weeks after suffering serious head injuries after an accident while he was swimming. Very young guy. I think it was like in his early 20s. So,
wow.
Yeah, he was a Mariners prospect. So he was supposed to be really good, but I guess he went swimming and he went underneath the boat, and it's never a good place to be. So
it was a submarine.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Victor Sanchez 0 propeller wins. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty bad. So
we had a lot of fans there.
Too soon, bro. Too soon.
Too
soon. In NBA news, LeBron James, he's not getting any love from Kevin Love. Did you hear about that?
No, yeah.
Kevin Love is endorsing, I guess he's in love with Russell Westbrook and saying that he might be the MVP candidate.
They used to play with each other.
Yeah,
no?
they were.
Whoa!
He means on the same team in college. He's talking about.
Hey!
Yeah. Wait, whoa.
Was that a fraternity thing? Is that a fraternity thing?
They're from the same team.
A lot of stuff going on with the fraternities nowadays.
They put on the same team.
They were on the same team, right? They were on
UCLA.
Yes.
UCLA
Westwood
products,
Love.
Westwood.
Westwood Love.
He was in love with the Coco. Sorry.
Oh, man. This last Tuesday, the Warriors beat the Blazers, and they clinched the first division title since 1976. The Toronto Raptors also earned their second straight Atlantic Division crown this week. I read this. This is a great article. It was on Monday that Adidas reportedly turned down the one and only Michael Jordan for an endorsement contract before his rookie season. Why? They turned him down because they said the future Hall of Famer who stood at 6'6" wasn't quite tall enough, according to German company likings.
They like them tall.
Oh, we like him so tall. Like, let's wait for the Nowitzki. He's more like all types. So, they turned down. They said he's too short. They said he was too short.
Like, same thing, Sam Bowie getting drafted before him that year, too.
Yeah.
Like, man. He
lot of stuff. Actually, this week was a lot of stuff that Jordan coming back and then, having some of the greatest games of his life, like, during this week.
And how much money he makes now.
And he doesn't have bacon neck anymore.
Negative. He's got Haynes. Former NBA All-Star Meta World Peace. Where's he at? He's in Italy. He's in Palacentro Cantu for the remainder of the season. The Los Angeles Lakers, we know, haven't been having a good season. We all know that. Everybody knows that. But this is how bad they've been playing. This is gonna. There's one statistic out there. Kobe Bryant, who hasn't played since January 21st, All right.
Right.
We're already in the month of practically almost in April.
April, right?
Kobe Bryant leads the team in field goals attempted.
Whoa.
You doing it, kid?
You do-
He's still telling the other team not to shoot, even though he's not playing.
He's like, "Tee me up, son."
Kevin Durant's going to be out for a while, another 4 to 6 months. I guess his foot got worse, and he's going through bone graft surgery.
You
So-
know, and they're barely hanging on to that 8th spot to get in the playoffs.
Yes.
That's-
You know,
He
and,
gets no
and
pressure on that leg because of the skinny jeans.
I don't know, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the bow tie cutting off circulation.
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
Maybe it's the glasses
And
without the
backpack,
glasses.
and his
I don't know.
backpack.
I don't know. The other night, it was 2 Chainz night in Atlanta. So hip-hop rock star took the Hall of Fame. He challenged Dominique Wilkins in a game of horse. And you know who won? 2 Chainz.
Really?
2 Chainz?
Yes. I guess he was dropping 2 buckets.
Nice.
Yep.
Shouts out to the Kentucky Fried Chicken for
Yep.
buckets.
The Warriors are on top of the West. They took the West. There's
They're doing it.
They're
though, man.
they're
They got a good
doing
team.
Yeah.
Stephen
You know, I
Curry
seen,
is I for me I think that's the MVP right there.
I seen them play. Actually, Atlanta is like the second. I think right now Atlanta Hawks, and
Right.
they played each other. I think it was last week. I got to see that game, and Golden State destroyed them. So it kind of showed their dominance.
Now
over
what do you guys think as far as the MVP? Do you think it's based on the actual team or just the player?
I think it's a combination.
Well, the combination of the record
Like
too.
let's think about Russell Westbrook. I mean, his team is struggling. They may not even get to the playoffs, but he's playing like single-handedly probably the best player right now.
right.
Yeah, but it
But
doesn't.
Steph Curry, on the other hand,
Yeah.
is a great player, but he's playing with a great team.
Great team. Yeah.
You know, so who's gonna or look at even Harden.
Well,
Harden's
even going
doing
back
well.
to like when Magic and Bird were competing for MVPs, it's who. It wasn't just the MVP, it was how much they elevated their team as well.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
Well, because you
performance.
remember when Steve Nash won back-to-back MVPs,
Right.
the second one he won, that's the year Kobe should have won it. That's the year he scored 81 points in a game.
Yeah.
But the
Yes.
Lakers weren't. They were like kind of on the
I
bubble.
hate
ate
that day.
So
Yeah.
he didn't win it,
Yeah,
because
so
of the.
it's just I don't know. There's a lot of within the next couple weeks or so, it's gonna really because now they're I honestly think it's Westbrook is gonna be the front runner right now because of
I mean, he
because of
looks
all those
like
triple
it.
doubles. All those triple
Yeah.
doubles was
well,
that
the
is-
record is it's what's gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, if it's something spectacular that he done, like a bunch of triple doubles in a
Yeah.
row, that might
that hasn't
actually
even been done. I mean,
right,
Yep.
exactly.
You know who's gonna get a triple double? The Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather fight. Jesus.
Oh, man.
In boxing news, it's supposedly that they're gonna be receiving somewhere. It's gonna surpass $400 million according to Bob Arum.
Wow,
The
too many
wealth-
breaches.
the welterweight title unification fight May 2nd in Las Vegas will generate $74 million from just the 15,000 tickets.
Wow.
Yes.
So don't you wish you would have stuck with boxing, Eric?
Yeah, but
Back in the day?
tomatoes.
I know, right? In MMA news, former UFC heavyweight champion and professional wrestling superstar Brock Lesnar. Brock.
Oh yeah.
He quote unquote closed the door on a return to the mixed martial arts.
Hey, man.
We're gonna talk about him in a little while.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
Makes sense though.
Dude, I saw he was on ESPN the other day. His hands are huge.
Yeah, man.
I was
Like,
like,
pause. They
they-
look like a 1920s baseball glove.
he just, you know what? He picks up trees with his bare hands and just
He makes them into toothpicks.
yeah. He's like the real Paul
He
Bunyan.
looks like he could play when he played football. Like he could play without the helmet.
It
dude.
looks
Yeah,
like
I
he'll
know,
break
right?
your toilet, Shay.
Probably with his head. That's pretty weird.
Speaking of somebody, I wish they would break their head on the toilet. Tom Brady.
Yeah,
he
nice
jumped off.
segue.
Did you guys hear about that? He jumped off of a 40-foot cliff in Costa Rica, and so now they're like, is the owner or Belichick were like, oh my god, like that's our superstar. Whereas like everybody else in the league was like, I hope it was only 10 feet deep. You know what I mean? But whatever.
I bet-
Did he survive?
Yes.
Robert Kraft probably shat himself the owner when he seen that.
He gronked himself.
Johnny Manziel, he's expected to be out of rehab in time for the Browns' off-season workouts.
Nice. But he saw the new helmets, so I think he's going back into rehab because of the helmets.
Because of Chris Borland? Poor guy.
Yes.
Poor
Shat.
guy. Eddie George dreams of owning the Tennessee Titans. But then the Tennessee Titans looked at his bank account and said, playa.
Keep dreaming.
He gives it meaning the term poor Georgie.
Dream a little dream of me. The Cleveland Browns and Atlanta Falcons are set to receive a severe punishment for violating NFL rules. The Browns general manager, Ray Farmer, confessed to texting in games. It was reportedly he was sending some dick pics over to Brett Favre saying
sexting.
LOL.
Some brown eyes.
He was sexting during the games.
Yeah, LOL, throwback Thursday.
Hey, but you seen their helmets? They're being punished enough.
I know, right? The Falcons, though, admitted that they pumped fake crowd noise into the Georgia Dome during games to cause difficulties for the visiting teams. The Falcons played with fake enthusiasm. It was awesome. It kind of worked out.
It all went together.
I know, right? It all kind of worked. In hockey news, do you guys know who Lanny McDonald is?
Yes, he played for the Calgary.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And he's a member of the Mustache Hall of Fame.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
And for good reason, because he's got a gnarly stash.
He's got a gnarly stash. It's redheaded.
It's oh yeah, I don't know if the carpets match the drapes, but whatever.
If it's an Oscar award, it's the red carpet.
And guess what? Now he is the chairman of the board of the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Good for him.
So
Good
first
for
the
him.
mustache, now the hockey.
Good
Hall
for
of
him
Fame.
and his mustache, right? The Montreal Canadiens and the New York Rangers lead their respective divisions in the East, while the Anaheim Ducks and the Nashville Predators lead in the West. From the You Can't Make This Ish Up, because I swear to God, this is literally. Florida Gators running back Adam Lane was interviewed this past Wednesday. I don't know if you guys heard it. It's funny. And was asked about pooping in his pants during last January's Birmingham Bowl against East Carolina. This is what he said. It was the best thing that could have happened. It got a lot of attention and just put me in a place where I was out there publicly and people knew who I was.
Oh, wow.
I really didn't get a lot of grief from it. A lot of people really more focused on how well I did in the game than anything. I feel like it was that way because I embraced it.
Oh, okay. And embrace the poopy pants.
They said, you played the shit out of that game.
Hey, when they told him you're headed to a bowl, he over-anticipated the bowl.
It was the wrong bowl.
Yeah, that's actually
Why you shat, son?
that's actually really inspiring, though.
Right?
I'm
How
gonna
awesome
try
was
that on this show. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna
Just,
chat and I'm gonna
just poop all over.
and say, hey man, it
You
worked
can reach
out.
him at Shaye Whitey at poopoopants.com.
He's a member of the Kaka.
The
I'm gonna wear my Kaká jersey.
Oh, man. Let me see what else we got. In soccer news, Cristiano Ronaldo might face suspension over his goal celebration against Barcelona. That's his rival. I'm surprised he even kept his pants on. Are you kidding me? U.S. captain Clint Dempsey will miss exhibition games in Denmark and Switzerland because of a strained right hamstring. I guess he wasn't hanging out with Mia Hamm. He's expected to be sidelined for 2 to 3 weeks.
Mia hamstring.
I know, right? Mia hamstring.
Mia hamstring.
In auto racing news, do we have NASCAR's version of Deflategate? Did you guys hear about this?
Oh.
That there's some tire trickery going on. And they're believing that, because obviously the cars run differently on the different weights of the tires. So the NASCAR has taken up a team that now does quote-unquote tire audits.
Oh, like
okay.
WMDs kind of guys.
Yeah, kind of like that.
I
So
heard the guy in charge is called the Michelin Man.
Yeah.
in high school news, this one's kind of messed up. Michael Kelly, he's a special needs kid. And I think he has like Down syndrome.
Right.
He's a student at Wichita East High School. He wears a letter. He has a Letterman jacket, and he has a letter. Just like the other guys. And the school district asked him to take off his letter
Why?
because he's not a varsity player.
But I heard they're going to compensate. I heard they're giving him a radio to hang around his neck. Shout out
to Cuba Gooding.
Yeah, shout out to Cuba Gooding.
That's messed up, dude. That's messed up, man. Very funny stuff. That's the trending hot topics. We're here at the Bsidesports show. You are here with Shaye, Eric, and myself, Ralph Figueroa. We're gonna move on to our next segment right now, which is March Madness Part 3. Go ahead and hit it, Drakk. Oh, I like that jam. Basket.
I love the dribble up and down the court.
I want to do the Spanish version. Baloncesto.
Baloncesto. March Madness is in full swing still. It is awesome right now because we're getting to the closer to the end
To
of
the
it.
nitty gritty.
Yes.
Yes.
So in the men's, I've been watching the games yesterday. Were
man.
awesome.
Kentucky finally got tested, man.
You know
see
what?
that?
Notre Dame put it to them.
Hey, man, I
Hey,
was
they
impressed
brought
with
it to
them.
him.
It was,
good.
yeah, you know what? And they found weaknesses, but at the same time, you know what? They just got very lucky. So Kentucky wound up winning, which is now their opponent is going to be Wisconsin. And
Hey.
Wisconsin killed the other.
They came through big time,
Yes.
man.
They did their thing. And you know what? This was, what's his name? Frank. They call him Frank the Tank.
It's the
Kaczynski, whatever.
Brakowski.
Bukowski.
Or something.
Brakowski.
Brakowski.
The he's
Brakowski.
That kid is, man. He flopped though. He reminded me of Vlade Divac though.
Yeah.
He did a flop yesterday. I was like, and you know who called him out on it was Reggie Miller of all people, the flop master.
The guy that
himself.
kicks his feet out.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, that's a flop. If I'm a flopper, I call that one out. I was like, that's funny.
What about that commercial with Reggie Miller in slow motion? That's hideous. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
He's like, man, they need to take that off the air quick. Man.
Oh, Reggie Miller, he's so good. He looks like a Ferengi from Star Trek. And then on the other side, you got Michigan State with, man, Tom Izzo is a great coach. I have to give him props because that guy is awesome, man. Took Michigan State, and now they're going to face the winner between Duke and Gonzaga, which actually, as we're recording now, is going on. So, do you know what happened? You know, who's winning right now by any chance, Shaye?
Actually, yeah, Duke 57-51. It's almost halftime.
Okay, wow.
So,
So that's a good game.
So
that's,
yeah, almost halftime. So if you're watching that game, turn it off and tune into us right now.
I know, right?
There you go.
I don't think
back right now.
We'll talk about it. You don't have to watch it. We'll talk about it.
I don't know how they're going to do that in the past,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
anyways.
that's it,
And then, of course, on the women's side, we got the women's March Madness going on. Eric, what do you have in the bracket? Because they're in the Elite Eight right now.
Well, right now, so far, one team has made it to the Final Four.
Okay.
And that's our beloved South Carolina Lady Gamecocks.
Don Staley, the coach.
Yeah, Don Staley, the coach.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Lady
So
Gamecocks.
they're doing it. Our team's still in it.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Yeah,
So what do you think about their play right now?
Man, what do you say about South Carolina? I mean, the Lady Gamecocks are a mouthful. I mean, just saying.
They got Gamecocks.
Who else? Of course, UConn.
UConn, Tennessee, still in it.
Actually, I caught some of that game yesterday after I left here. We went over to our neighbor, the Republic Bar. Shout out to them. And I caught some of that. They had it, and it was actually a really intense game. A lot of people talk crap about women's basketball, but in college it's actually pretty good.
They get really
they
they
play
get
like,
into it. Yeah,
they play
I
hard
mean-
defense, like really.
and they're really good outside shots.
Yeah,
I mean, like as
yeah.
far as their 3-pointers, I'm like, wow.
They should be
it
more
was a good
dunking,
game.
though.
It was actually good.
Gino Auriemma, though, he reached another milestone. If you guys didn't know that, the Hall of Famer, he's the second coach to achieve 100 victories in the NCAA tournament. As the UConn Huskies pulled off a record rout of Texas. That Texas game, they killed them by 51, dude. It was bad. So he's actually now right behind Pat Summitt with the Tennessee. So
she's
yeah,
Hall
man.
of Famer.
Those UConn ladies are man, they're bringing it.
I just wish Rebecca Lobo would have played more in the WNBA.
Yeah. She's a commentator now. I see her on the thing.
Really, Rebecca Lobo?
Yeah,
Rebecca Lobo. She was from UConn, right?
Yeah. I believe
Yes.
so, yeah.
Yes. She was in one of those. I don't think she ever lost in her life. Jeez.
Yeah, she didn't.
They were like all undefeated, like all 4 years when she was there.
Yeah, then she played with the Liberty and no good.
Yeah, yeah. So with with the on the men's bracket since Villanova lost, and that was a big upset. Did you guys see? Because she came out on Jimmy Fallon playing her little piccolo. So she goes, so she's sitting in with the Roots. Right.
Oh, the
and so the Jimmy Fallon has her on the show and whatever. So he walks over to her, and so she's doing the during the intros and stuff like that. Jimmy Fallon walks over to her and he says, "Hey, what'd you think about this video?" She goes, "Well, I didn't really want anybody to see it, but yeah, that and so much for that one." Like the whole world saw her crying after the Villanova loss. That fool gave her like all this really cool, like a gift basket.
Oh, dope.
And then he gave her tickets to go see Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Because she's a Taylor Swift fan, so yeah.
Like, I want to start crying now.
I know I'm gonna start crying right now too. Like, let's start recording ourselves crying about something.
There's always Taylor Swift always has such great stories in the news.
I know.
She's God sent.
You don't,
Thank you,
but you
Taylor
know what?
Swift.
Yeah,
You got to break up with somebody though.
I know, right?
Do that.
Yeah, shout out to Kanye West. He did that. Okay, yeah, that was it. So, Bobby Hurley though, he achieved a lot of success this year. with his team over in Buffalo.
Him and his brother, right?
Yeah, so he's actually DePaul is actually looking for a new head coach, which is another good program. So they're
Really?
thinking about talking to him.
So you think he's gonna leave his the team he's on coaching right now?
The Buffalo for
Yeah.
DePaul?
Yeah.
If I were him, shh.
So
My name's DePaul, and that's between y'all. That's what I would have told him.
So Hurley's leaving early. Hurley's early.
Early.
Actually, just in DePaul bringing back Dave Leitao back as their coach.
Oh, they are
just
bringing
made
him
the
back?
hire, yeah. Just in.
Oh, really?
An
See
hour
how
ago.
up to the date we are on the B-Side Sports
Yeah.
Show?
We're up to the minute.
Yeah, I know, right?
But so
Did-
poor Bobby Hurley. Keep trying.
I know. What you guys think about Obama's niece? Did you hear she got threatened?
No.
Yeah, she
I
was
didn't hear
threatened.
that.
Yeah, they were
Well,
leaving her.
what-
They didn't tell her. They didn't tell her at first, but it happened.
What do you say? Your uncle's gonna be back another 4 years?
I don't know, but whoever
Come on,
threatened her,
Reese.
whoever
No.
threatened her, I'm sure is now somewhere in Siberia.
I'm still running, even though I can only go 8 years. I'm gonna go for another one. I'm going to the final too. Yeah. There's a lot after the tournament though. There's a lot of coaches kind of get tossed out.
Oh yeah.
So Arizona State, the Sun Devils.
But
right.
you got Izzo coming in the Final Four against
Well, you got
Krzyzewski.
nothing but coaches that have
Yeah,
been
man. The
in
big top coaches are in.
Yeah.
And if Duke wins tonight,
But all these other teams, I mean, now you see how important it is to get into the tournament because so the Sun Devils, they fired their coach after 9 seasons. Texas, that dude was with them for 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Barnes with Texas, and after they lost yesterday, out of there.
Where's the loyalty?
St. John's, they let them in. They had a mutual agreement to part ways with Steve Lavin. You guys remember Steve Lavin?
yeah,
He was
yeah.
with UCLA.
Yes.
he's
um,
famous for, remember when he cried on the press conference?
Yes,
A
yes.
lot of people remember.
And he got Taylor Swift tickets after that.
Yeah, so he's actually as of right now, he's interested in another job right now. But you know who else is interested in the St. John's position now that it's open?
Mark Jackson?
Our homie, Meta World Peace.
Oh, really? Oh, that would be interesting to see him as a coach.
Meta, yeah.
Wouldn't it?
They wouldn't trust him.
I don't trust. Hey, Coach World Peace, like now, or is it Coach Peace? I don't know what they call it.
Peace,
Coach
yeah,
Meta? I don't know. MW whatever.
WMD.
MW Peace.
Oh man, what else do we got?
Hey, what about that? The story with the. Did you guys hear about the throwing off the betting? Sports
Yes,
books?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
So for those of you that saw, it was Duke versus Utah.
Right.
And obviously, when it comes to those types of games, because they were kind of breaking it down the other day of the formula it takes for sometimes on these games, and this game in particular, so much money swapped hands in like a few seconds as far as $1 million as far as betting. So what it was is that obviously there's a point spread,
Right.
and it had something to do because the Duke was supposed to win anyways.
Yeah.
But they had to beat the spread or something like that.
It
Cover
was
the spread.
5.5 points was the spread.
Yeah. So there's a lot of money, and at that point, right before those free throws, they were actually not in.
They wouldn't have covered.
They wouldn't have covered. So there's a lot of people. So now they were gonna actually Vegas would have made all that money.
Right.
Instead, because he made those free throws, and how much time was left, Shaye?
They put actually the buzzer had already sounded, but they put 0.7 of a second back on the clock
For
after
him to go shoot
they
the
called
free throws.
Foul. He made one of two. He actually missed one. He made the second, but he just had to make that one.
And make
threw
that
off the
one,
whole
and
spread.
and millions. They said millions of dollars.
But I think a lot of the people that
Oh,
were actually
wow.
putting down the money though, they were happy because they came up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, good job.
Shouts
refs.
out to the good
Shout out
fellas.
to those refs.
Yeah, dude. John Calipari, man, awesome.
Oh yeah.
But I heard he's not satisfied.
He's trying. He wants to get back into the NBA. I
Yeah,
heard.
that's what I heard. That's
That's the
satisfied.
only place he
hasn't
hasn't won.
succeeded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's been
He coached the Nets before, but they didn't do
Well,
that.
yeah,
Coached a
they
few
were
teams.
awful.
Right
They were
after
awful.
he coached UMass.
Because
He coached
because he
NBA.
was with UMass. He was great in Memphis. He
Right.
turned that program, and then of course now with Kentucky.
Did he win a title in Memphis?
I don't remember. I'd have
I
to
want to
look into
say,
that.
yeah, dude.
I know he took him into the tournament pretty far though.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Tweet
We'll
us
have
right now if you're watching live. Tweet
Yeah,
us,
let us know if you can answer that question.
Yeah.
He likes calamari.
You know,
Yeah.
Calipari likes calamari.
but of course the Lady Princeton they lost in the tournament, so they went their undefeated bid.
Or
So.
the Princeton.
The Princeton Tigers. Yeah, that's the one with Obama's niece.
Hopefully they won't lose her too.
So March Madness will by next week. I think it'll be done by then. Right?
Yeah.
No, it'll be one more.
I think there'll be the final game.
The
only.
final game
Oh,
will
the final
be the
game's
day
on that
after.
Monday.
So
Maybe
it'll
that
be the
Monday
Monday
after.
discuss
so.
that. So let me just one more update. 62-52 Duke. 1 minute left in the first
Wow,
half.
Duke.
We're doing it. See?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Actually, that's 1 minute and 18 seconds left.
Duke
in the
versus
second
Michigan State is would be a really
Yeah.
good game though.
half. I think they're
Oh,
gonna
big
take.
Would be a
time.
really good game. So once again, you guys are tuning into the B-Side Sports Show here with Shaye, Eric, and myself, Ralph Figueroa. You can find us on all our social media at B-Side Sports Show. So we're gonna move on to our next segment. We're gonna do athlete birthdays. We're gonna have a good time. What kind of a good time are we gonna have, guys?
Great
I don't know.
time.
It's somebody's birthday.
Because it's
somewhere.
somebody's birthday. That's why we have reason to
Who's better
celebrate.
than-
So Eric,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Whose birthday?
Well, I'm going to start off with Cy Young, Major League Hall of Famer.
That wasn't his name though, right?
It wasn't. His name was Denton True Young, and he got his name Cy because of the way he used to destroy the fences with fastballs. It would look like a cyclone hit it, and the fences would look all destroyed. So they shortened it and made it Cy. So he got his nickname from that. It's kind of like Suge Knight, which is short for sugar, and it's sugar that's actually destroying Knight's body as well. So kind of correlates a little bit.
Kind of blends in.
It's just a little bit.
Cy Young would
Walt
have been
Frazier.
112.
Who?
How old would a Cy Young be?
Cy would have been very old.
Oh yeah.
Very old.
1,000.
Yeah.
And
You're pretty
Suge Knight, like 80 years.
Okay, 80.
80 years he's going to do.
I thought it got 80 to life.
He's going blind now, isn't he?
Thought it was 80 to life now.
He's done so. Walt Frazier celebrating a birthday today as well.
Another guy that should be. I think he is also in the Mustache Hall of Fame.
You don't know what that is. You seen his commercials for
Yes.
Just for Men?
Oh, he's got to. Dude.
He's horrible. That Walt should halt doing that, something like that, right? That Clyde should hide. Walt Frazier's not doing it anymore. Earl Campbell from the NFL, he's celebrating a birthday as well.
Nice.
And Kurt Thomas, but not Kurt Thomas, the basketball player. This Kurt Thomas is a U.S. gymnast from the '84 Olympics. And I actually have a correction because I think last week or the week before, another Olympic gymnast, Mitch Gaylord.
Gaylord.
Yeah, he celebrated a birthday. And I thought it was him who was in the movie Gymkata. And actually, it was Kurt Thomas. But Mitch Gaylord actually did participate in different strokes. So Gaylord is down with different strokes. So
Still does, I think.
He still does it.
Good for him.
Good for him and hitting those rings. Jennifer Capriati also
Oh,
celebrating
yeah.
her birthday. You remember her?
I remember
her.
She
Yeah.
was a 13 tennis player.
She was a phenom.
She was.
Yeah, she was and she used her racket to her advantage,
I think
causing
one.
one.
Yeah.
Because she actually got into like drugs.
Yeah, drugs.
Yeah.
She had a drug thing, but I think
Yeah.
she made a comeback.
She
so
did make a comeback.
But it wasn't. Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
she's okay now.
Man, nothing good though.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's her birthday. so-
It's her birthday. Secretariat celebrating the birthday on the 30th. The horse.
The horse. Oh.
He won the Triple Crown in 1973 and died in '89. And my kids use him with glue as of 2002.
Oh.
I might have eaten some in like 2001. So I don't know.
Yeah, I was in TJ around that time.
Yeah, I was teaching kids back then.
Shouts out to Elmer's. On the 30th, also celebrating the birthday, Sergio Ramos from the Spanish soccer team and Ricardo Osorio of the Mexican soccer team. Celebrating the birthday on the 31st, we got Jack Johnson, black first African-American heavyweight champion. And
Really?
Yeah.
He said black.
I know he kind of caught himself on that one. I mean, African American.
It's because I'm saying he was going through a dark time. He was kind of went gothic for a little bit. It was the Dark Ages.
You-
What do you?
he meant to say black trunked.
He's
Black
he's
trunked.
the black fisted. These are his gloves right here. The black gloves. Part of the mafia started around him. They called him the Black Hand. See?
Yeah, they called him the Black Fang. Yeah.
And he likes the white women.
He was just punching everybody. Yeah.
Cross the state line if you want to marry.
Go to Canada, hippies.
You keep running from the drive. That's what Cheech and Chong
hilarious.
started.
So is he still alive?
No,
Oh, he passed away.
by no means necessary.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just-
he
I was
totally- how dare you offend his bones?
His fossils. His fossils.
The prehistoric. You can see him at the La Brea Tar Pits.
so technically, he's not celebrating a birthday. He just this would have been the day he was
It
born.
would have been now go Bonesy. It's your birthday. All right. So, celebrating a birthday as well is a Gordie Howe, NHL legend.
How you doing?
He's very Gordy. Ron Brown celebrating a birthday as well on the 31st. He's a U.S. Olympic runner, and he played football with the Los Angeles Rams as well. Man of two teams.
And he might have been in the same pants as that Florida Gator student guy.
Shouts out to him.
He had his Browns in there.
He was a tailback.
Hershey squirts.
J.R. Reed, NBA player, and Steve Smith, former Michigan State.
Let's go
Steve
back
Smith
to
was
J.R. Reed real quick.
J.R. Reed.
I was watching
remember
because he was with North Carolina,
Right.
and I was watching this documentary on Dean Smith, which was really good. It was I think it was like on HBO or Showtime. Anyways, so they're talking about how the rivalry and how them and Duke and how they don't like each other. And
Right.
So there was at the time and I don't know if you guys remember, they had an allegation that supposedly these student athletes weren't even going to school. They were just basically going in for the for the scholarships and whatever. So and Dean Smith took it very personal, that's why I admire that guy. So anyways, one of the they go play at Duke. And so the rivalry's heated. Somebody's in the audience holding up a sign. It says JR can't read. And it just spelled like dude, I died when I saw that, man. JR can't read. And then he looked at him like, I didn't know my middle name was Kant. That's crazy.
He's all like, hey, coach, what does that sign say?
He's all, what is that? He's all, what's that picture between my first name and last name?
Why does everybody keep sending
Tell
me
him to
this?
turn the page.
Why does it say hubba bubba? No, it's happy birthday. Happy birthday, JR. Happy birthday. Who else we got, Eric?
Birthdays on the 1st. On April Fools, we got Bo Schembechler and Shem Beckler, Michigan football coach.
The late great.
The late great Kevin Duckworth from the Portland
I remember
Trailblazers.
him.
You remember that guy, Mr. Eat-A-Lot? Speaking of Eat-A-Lot, Jumbo Elliott from the New York Giants. He's,
Jumbo.
Yes, Jumbo. He's going to eat a Jumbo Jack. Mark Jackson and Brooke and Robin Lopez also celebrating a birthday on the 1st.
On the same, what time of this?
Yeah. Brooke came first.
Oh, one's that 1 minute, and then a minute later they.
Well, who has longer hair? Check their status.
Which is the one that looks like Sideshow Bob?
I think that's Brooke. I think Brooke, right?
I don't know.
Is
They're
it
both
Brooke?
ugly.
They're both
They're both
Yeah,
ugly.
they're both pretty.
Yeah, they're
And
both beat up.
interesting, check this out. Also, a birthday on the 1st is Chinese driver by the name of Lai Ting.
Oh.
Lighting.
Lai Ting, Chinese driver, and that's exactly what it does. He's lighting around the car in soccer.
He's lighting. He's lighting it up with Nick Diaz right now.
He's
how he's
lighting
celebrating.
it up.
White lines.
He's Confucius.
White rhymes.
I'll take the number 4 and throw some Chinese egg rolls.
Oh man, that's a great name.
On the 2nd, Carmen Basilio, boxer, celebrating a birthday, as well as Don Sutton, pitcher for the Dodgers, curly hair, little Afro dude.
Oh yeah,
Do you remember that guy? He
I
played
have
with
his
the Brewers?
bobblehead.
the classic
Hey,
70s
really?
look.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the classic 70s.
I have his
look.
bobble fro night.
Nice, I like that.
Yes.
Bill Romanowski and Willie Green also celebrating a birthday on the 2nd.
Romanowski is gonna spit in someone's face for his birthday.
Yeah, it's the birthday cake because he can't talk anymore. Celebrating a birthday on the 3rd, Earl Lloyd, which is actually the first black player to play in an NBA game.
Oh yeah, we talked about him before too. I remember on the show.
Probably,
So
but
we know him good now.
I know we know him pretty good. I got an
Yeah.
impersonation of Earl Lloyd on his first game that he ever played. I'm open and I got skills.
I'm taller than most of you guys.
I could touch the rim.
Guys, I'm right here. Coach said
No
I'm on the
one's
team
guarding
now.
me. Yeah, they said give it to the black guy. They say he's diseased, but he's not. He just got skills.
And then he said, "One day you'll see. You'll see.
You'll
one day."
see.
Yeah.
You'll see.
Let me call 20,000 of my ancestors. Let's get them down here and then flood the states. Lyle Alzado celebrating a birthday on the 3rd. Remember him?
Dark
Yes.
Zader.
Yes.
Yes, that was him. Purvis Salison and Jack Del Rio. And Keith Kloss celebrating a birthday on the 3rd. Remember Keith Kloss?
Kloss, man.
Yeah,
He's like 8 feet tall and 100 pounds or something.
yes, he's going to go
Remember?
cruising apparently on his birthday. But hopefully the Crips won't ask him to get out the car.
He'll throw a
And
8-foot karate kick.
On the 4th, rounding off the birthdays, we got Tris Speaker, Hall of Fame pitcher, Gil Hodges of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Bart Giamatti. He used to be a commissioner for MLB. He actually suspended Pete Rose, right?
Yes.
I think it was him. Emerson, Brazilian soccer player Emerson. I don't know who would name his kid after an appliance. He's got a cousin named Whirlpool.
An awful TV.
Yeah.
Huh.
If your TV comes with a lighter plug,
That's his cousin GE.
they call him Get.
Yeah.
And finally, Ben Gordon and Rudy Fernandez of the NBA, they're both celebrating the birthday on the 4th, and that is the Athlete Sports.
Awesome.
birthday's
Happy
great.
birthday
Happy birthday
to
to
all
all
these
you,
athletes from the
man.
B-Side
Yeah.
Sports Show. And remember, you guys can tune in and find us on all our social media at B-Side Sports Show. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. You also can find us at bsideshow.net and also on our SoundCloud. You guys have been downloading us on our SoundCloud. We're at B-Side Sports Show. So we're going to move on to our next segment. We're going to do This Week in Sports History. Yes.
Cut it.
Nice. We had a little glitch there. It's supposed to be This Week in Sports History. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just reiterating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sure you got the birthdays down.
Yeah, we got the birthdays. They're all past. Some of them from the future.
This is
Yeah.
this is for next year. We're in advancement.
So
Back
what do we
in
got?
time.
What do we got in? Yeah, no, that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, back in time.
So what do we got? Shaye, This Week in Sports History. What do you got?
This week? Let's start with today in sports history. Back in 1919, we know how far the Stanley Cup goes back. There actually wasn't a Stanley Cup awarded that year. It started out two games each. They each won one tie, and then there was a flu epidemic.
Oh,
Man, the old flu epidemic, eh?
So that was it. They couldn't finish. So
Somebody
there was no winner.
farted in my eye. Yeah, I got pink eye.
it's because they're playing in the cold.
Somebody put on some mittens.
And then moving on to 1940,
You got the cold too.
Joe Louis.
He's got the cough. Yeah.
The willy nillys.
Joe Louis knocked out Johnny Paycheck in 2 rounds. To retain
And
the
he
World
earned
Heavyweight
his
title.
paycheck.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
That's a great name.
Joe
Johnny
Louis?
Paycheck.
Hey, that's my boy Johnny Paycheck over there.
Johnny
just-
Paycheck.
Hey, how you
They call him
doing?
that because he just goes and loses every fight, so they
How
can
you
just get
doing?
the paycheck.
He's always owing people.
He's always bouncing. He tries to pick up the check and he bounces, bro. Hey, that's my friend Johnny.
Where you going there, Johnny?
Hey, Johnny Paycheck. Huh?
Johnny, come back,
He's
Johnny.
bouncing. He paycheck's bouncing.
Hey,
In,
how
uh,
you doing?
In 1941, so we're in the time of March Madness and the NCAA championship. Wisconsin beat Washington State. Listen to this score: 39-34. That's a final. 39
Oh
to
my
34.
God!
Oh,
You only
they-
played one half.
Sounds like a high school game or something.
What were they in wheelchairs?
Oh yeah. I think so. I'm gonna have to check on that one.
They said, "Hey guys, we need everybody on the court.
We need to clear the ramps.
I know, I know, Johnson. I know you're missing a leg, but we need you in. We need you in. You could just
need
do
you
some
in paycheck.
fadeaway jumpers. Just a one-legged fadeaway jumper. You're good. This Michael Jordan cat, I heard he's good too.
Yeah, he is. Sam Bowie too. Sam Bowie's good.
Try it on his Adidas.
In 1984, the Baltimore Colts, they moved to Indianapolis and became the Indianapolis Colts. In 1996, the Cleveland Browns, they actually choose their new name, the Baltimore Ravens. So,
Oh.
so yeah, it's a quick, crazy
nice.
history with those teams right there. In 1989, the first Soviets are allowed to play in the NHL. So
Really?
finally allowed to. That was
They
during the
finally
Cold
let
War era.
those
Those
Sputniks.
Ruskies.
Ruskies.
Yeah.
We want the red rings.
We want to play basketball, hockey, all that.
Let's move on to tomorrow in history.
I thought we were friends after Rocky 4.
On the 30th, not much happened on the 30th, but in 1993, Punjab beat Maharashtra by 120 runs.
I'll spell that for word of origins
Yeah.
for 20
That
points.
in their
That's
language.
in Annie, the
Huh.
movie. Punjab.
Yeah, I don't know much about cricket, but 120 runs just sounds like a lot to win by. So I don't know. Maybe cricket's different, but
By
that
a
just sounds
century,
like
they
it.
say. I heard him say that. He's winning by a century. Like, what? They're that far in time? Wow, okay.
The cricket.
In 73, on the 31st, Ken Norton beat Muhammad Ali in 12 rounds in a split decision, one of Muhammad Ali's few losses. And Ken Norton, his son, played in the NFL.
For
Remember
the
Ken
for the
Norton
Dallas
Jr.?
Cowboys.
Yeah, remember that?
Oh,
So
and
that's
the
crazy.
49ers.
And the 49ers. And,
Yeah.
he was, I think he's still coaching.
Yeah, he was a
Really?
big time
Yeah.
player. He was a good
Absolutely.
Buckethead, dude.
In 1976, the Cavaliers, their first ever playoff berth. In 1976.
Who was in
The
that
first
squad?
and only.
They're finally back in, and now they got LeBron James, so they're good. They're
Down
good.
with the king.
Yeah. Actually, in 1995, on the 31st, federal judge orders an injunction to end the baseball strike. So finally, they ended that. Remember that strike?
Yeah,
that they
I
had
remember
for a few
that.
years, and they were using like replacement players and stuff
Yeah,
like
the
that.
scab players.
Yeah,
What
man.
Scabs.
The scabs. They had a lot of scabs. Yeah, they didn't let 'em-
Except for the catcher. He
I
had
know.
scabies.
It's because they weren't good at sliding. They don't know how to slide right, so they had all those scabs.
Nobody wore cups.
In 1998, the Devil Rays, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, their very first ever game versus Detroit. So they were an expansion team, the Devil Rays.
Yes.
But they're not the Devil Rays anymore. Too many religious groups complain. They're now just the Rays. So
The Devil Rays.
everybody
Boo.
loves Raymond.
Boo.
The Croc Hunter protested.
I know, right?
The first ever National League baseball game on the first in 1876. It was Boston against Philadelphia. 6-5 was the final.
The first ever baseball game?
A National League baseball game. So
Wow.
that was when they first went to two divisions like that. In 1963, the Mets purchased Duke Snider from the Dodgers for $40,000. So back then, you could purchase a player.
You
Just buy 'em.
purchased a
Wow.
player.
I'll buy him off you.
That's how they got Earl Lloyd.
Yeah. Bud Selig in 1970 became the CEO of the Milwaukee Brewers. He tried to purchase the Seattle Pilots for $10 million, but they wasn't allowed. It didn't go through. And then finally, we'll round it off in 1992. The first strike in NHL history, in the 75-year history, the first strike ever.
Wow.
So no Stanley Cup because of that. Before it was the flu epidemic
Was-
back in the 1800s. but
Wow.
now-
Was the Godfather involved in that? Maybe. This Week in Sports History brought to you by the Bsidesports Show. So remember, you guys can tune into us on all our social media. And that was Shaye, everybody. With
Shaye
the
Wizzo.
This Week in Sports History.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to move on to our next segment. We got Who's in Trouble?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, in the house.
Man,
Yeah.
all the stories you're about to hear are real and factual.
They're all factual.
They all happened, and they're really stupid. A lot of these guys are in trouble for their own wits.
They take no crap.
Meh. So what do you got, Eric?
I got who's in trouble. I got former NHL player Stephen Peat, P-E-A-T. He's been charged with 2 counts of arson for allegedly setting fire to his father's house.
So he's okay. So he got 2 counts.
2 counts.
So
of-
Pete repeated.
Pete
Okay,
repeated-
just making sure. Just making sure. Just making sure.
The
Okay.
roof is
Well,
on fire.
well, witnesses say that Pete was seen trying to set the house on fire after a domestic dispute with his father. So Pete turned himself in to the mounted police, and a court date has yet to be scheduled. Just for knowledge sake, Pete played with the Washington Capitals, but to me, sounds more like a Calgary Flames kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Flame out.
Just saying, man.
Yeah.
He's a flamer. Also, American tennis player Wayne Odesnik. He received a 15-year ban for his second doping violation. Odesnik tested positive for metabolites of the steroid methanolone.
There's way too many letters in that,
There's
right?
way too many letters.
You
yo.
could just say meth, bro.
I
or
could just say
whatever.
this, but then he's gonna snort it. But he's currently
Breaking Bad.
ranked. You know what? It's not like it's gonna. He's currently ranked 267th,
Yeah,
dude.
really? So it wasn't helping, really?
Yeah, so there's definitely no love in this match between Odesnik and the ATP. So, shouts out to the ATP. Anyways, a next teammate of our good friend Wilt Chamberlain. His name is Tom Hawkins. He played with Wilt Chamberlain for 2 seasons, and he says that the 20,000 women that Wilt Chamberlain claimed to have bedded, it's wrong. That there's no way in hell that he could have slept with that many women. Apparently, Hawkins remembers nights where Wilt Chamberlain would just spend nights devouring McDonald's and not women. So to me, I mean,
Either way, he still got a Big Mac.
well, it actually kind of it goes back to over 20 billion served. So apparently, Wilt Chamberlain still holds that record of over
man.
20 billion served. But Big Macs.
So he's the reason why we only get 2 ketchup packets now.
He's the reason, and no barbecue sauce.
Damn you, Will Chamberlain.
Damn you, Stilt,
Damn you, Stilt.
and your bones. I hated you in Conan the Destroyer. How dare you? Also, check this out: the Stanley Cup, the beloved NHL trophy.
Of course.
Stanley Cup. It will not be allowed in strip clubs ever again.
What?
Oh.
Right?
It's a tragedy.
That's
It
where
is-
that's like the first place I would take it.
I would. You would take it in the Stanley Cup.
I
Nice.
will take it in my Stanley's cup. Nice.
Actually, NHL officials say the Cup actually stopped attending adult cabarets as of 1994 when the New York Rangers, who won the Stanley Cup that year, allegedly took the Stanley Cup to the Scores Strip Club.
Right?
And
appropriately named for hockey players.
Appropriately
Scores.
scored.
Score.
So them actually taking the strip club there, they originated the first 2 girls in a cup. So thanks
man.
to the Rangers.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Oh, that's awful, dude.
So Alabama senior free safety Geno Smith, he was arrested for DUI, and Smith got bailed out on $1,000 bond. This is his second such incident, and this time he's really got his hands crimson tied behind his back.
Oh.
So,
Ooh, nice little one.
Nice little one, a little one.
Nice.
Arizona Coyotes and former NHL player Nick Boynton. He was charged and arrested with assault, disorderly conduct, harassment, resisting arrest, criminal mischief, and obstruction of government administration.
Wow.
So Boynton was being abusive with patrons and security at the Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. Boynton destroyed casino property and even bit an officer trying to subdue him. He's been placed on leave of absence by the team officials and officially answers my question: do coyotes bite?
Apparently they
Apparently
do.
they do. And
Careful
they
out
actually,
there.
they're announcers. So, former Nebraska Cornhusker and current NFL draftee Randy Gregory, he tested positive for marijuana and was notified by mail by the NFL Combine. Gregory had his dad open the letter in pride, thinking he was actually going to get an invitation by a team to try out. And when his dad opened the letter, he's like, Randy,
We need to talk.
we need to talk. You been dipping in my pip again?
You been listening to them Doobie Brothers. You been hanging out with that Nick Diaz kid
Oh, yeah,
from down the
that's
Shout out
street.
to Nick Diaz. And you know what Randy Gregory said? I learned it by watching you.
I forgot I even did it. Oh, you're using that one.
Well, you know, come on, you got to kind of understand. The kid, he went to Nebraska. What is there to do in Nebraska, bro?
Who taught you how to do this stuff?
All the cool kids are doing it, Dad.
Yeah, but they're shucking corn.
We're gonna build the enterprise over here in Nebraska.
In between the stocks, Dad. In
I think
between
I'm-
the stocks.
I think I'm Captain Kirk, Dad,
Why?
because I be smoking doobies.
Oh, there's no way I'm going to have you be a shat.
A Shatner.
A shat.
Shatner shatted.
And finally, Paul Pierce, he's being sued by his former New York landlords. They claim that Pierce, his wife, and his 3 children left a $30,000 a month 4-bedroom loft in shambles. $30,000 a month.
I like that word, shambles.
In shambles. It's in shambles. It sounds like Shatner shambles.
He shattered, left shambles.
Your life is in shambles. Like, wow,
you
that's pretty bad.
Pooping like gemstones. That's what shambles is. He shambles.
Shambles. Sounds like
Shambled
you
all
need-
over the park.
So
Stop
his
it.
Need some ointment for
rented
that.
apartment while
Yes.
he's playing over there now, he left it
Well,
all.
he left because now he's playing with the Wizards now, right?
Yeah, he's in
so,
Washington.
So now he's being sued. And actually they're suing him for $425,000 of total back rent and damages. Pierce had no comment on replacing the wood floors that he replaced with pink carpet. He's also
What?
he replaces wood floors with pink carpet.
Whoa.
He actually removed a stone fireplace, kitchen tiles, a shower head, and apparently he allowed his pit bulls to bathe in the hot tub.
Whoa.
Wow, I guess
So-
when he was hanging out with Michael Vick, just thinking.
Yeah. what's that?
Inglewood is up to no good.
Not much of an interior designer, is he?
Shouts out to Paul Pierce and the Inglewood family.
And his pink carpet.
And his pink carpet, yeah.
Ugh, disgusting.
And that's it for Who's in Trouble.
man.
Paul Pierce, pay your bills,
Yeah,
man.
man.
I know
Bills.
times are tough, but you're an NBA player, sir.
Pay your bills and put your shower head back on that shower.
You should have enough. Put their chimney back. They want to see Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Stop wearing a shower cap for no reason.
I know, right? So you guys have been tuning in, listening to the B-Side Sports Show here at the bsideshow.net. And you guys can find us on all our social media. You can find us at Shaye Whitey. That's what it is, right? At Shaye Whitey?
Yeah, Shaye Whitey. Yeah.
At Shaye Whitey.
Yeah.
All one word,
Eric
Shaye
J
Whitey.
is just look up Eric J and see what happened
You'll
on Google.
You'll have to
Find
hashtag him.
something.
Hashtag him or something.
Hashtag him. Just look him up on Google. Let's
Hash
see.
brown me.
I'm kind of wondering what happens if I look up Eric J. I want to know what Eric J's doing.
You don't
well.
want to know the results.
And I, of course, am Ralph Figueroa, and you guys can find me at Comic Ralph21. But then you could also find us on all our social media. Remember, B-Side Sports Show. So once again, now we're gonna move into our second to last segment. We're gonna do a little quick WrestleMania review. Go ahead, hit it, Drakk.
All right, brother.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
What is up
What-
with that?
What was up with that song? What did it
When-
say?
Is it, I come crashing down it and it hurts. When
It
it comes
hurts
crashing
inside.
down it hurts inside.
Oh, man.
Good lord.
And it hurts. That's when the Hulkster would just tear off his shirt.
That's
Yeah, I
the,
never thought about that.
That's the
when
theme
it
song
hurts
to
inside, that's
yeah,
not right
the
at
theme
all.
I
song
know,
to a
it's like-
Jenna Jameson movie.
So we got WrestleMania. Actually, WrestleMania is tonight, right?
Tonight,
Shay?
yeah. It's
So
actually
Shay,
tonight,
what do you
man.
got on WrestleMania?
Well, first there was actually something that I didn't mention it in history. This week in history, on the 3rd, on April 3rd in 1908, Frank Gotch wins the World Heavyweight Championship in 2 hours.
Wow.
So they used to have matches for 2 hours. Like that's.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God.
I wish that Mayweather Pacquiao fight lasted long.
Yeah.
Not for $100.
And then in
Better not be no 2-rounder. So what do you got?
too much.
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
WrestleMania. Let's talk about
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Who's the main event?
The main event is actually we just talked about earlier, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. So
yeah.
he went from real wrestling to fake wrestling.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so he's actually the champion right now. He's the world champion.
Oh,
and,
is he?
He's defending against Roman Reigns, who's a Samoan wrestler. He's actually related to The Rock and the Wild Samoans and a bunch of other.
All Samoans are
That's it.
related
Yeah,
somehow.
they're all-
Just
yeah,
that- yeah,
They're all living
they're all
Hawaiian
cousins.
Gardens.
Yeah, they're
Hey,
all
brah.
cousins, but-
Hey, brah.
Yeah, but
Hey,
he's
brah. We cousins, brah.
Let's go suck them up, bro.
Let's go suck. Huh, let's go hit at Tomelana. What do they call what do they call them? Hookies or
Howlies?
Howlies.
Howlies, yeah.
I thought it was hookies. I
Hey,
don't know.
don't mess with me. I broke your face.
Broke your face.
What the trippy thing about the decision, though, the decision to where to sign is that actually kind of tells you who's gonna win, because if he wouldn't have re-signed, then they would have had to take the belt from him, so he would have lost. But now that he's re-signed, he'll win.
So
that's
you're so
my
okay. So
prediction.
Shea Whitey right now is predicting
predicting
Brock Lesnar
that
will
that
win,
Brock
yeah.
Lesnar will win and retain his heavyweight.
Who's he
championship.
fighting?
Roman Reigns.
Yes, he's
Roman
definitely gonna keep
Reigns.
his title.
Which
He's
doesn't
gonna
sound
keep his
like
title.
a Samoan name. I think they kind of gave him a new name, but his real name was something probably hard to pronounce and spell. But
Hiki
he goes by
hooku
Roman Reigns. Yeah.
Hey, that's my homie. That's my Brock. Hiki hooku. Oh, we can't use that for wrestling, bro. It's too short, huh?
Give me some spam.
Give me
Yeah,
some
so that's the
spam
big
and
main
eggs,
event.
huh?
The one that's probably going to be the best match of the card, the sleeper, is the ladder match, Intercontinental title, and there's like 7 guys in it. Wade Barrett defending the title. One of the most popular guys right now is Daniel Bryan, who looks like what's the Oakland A's. You know how they all have those
Oh
big
yeah,
giant
yeah,
beards?
yeah. Those beards.
Yeah, that's how he looks. He's like.
So how much is the
beard.
fight, by the way? I mean, it's pay per view.
Well, yeah, pay-per-views charges a lot, but they have like that network now where you could pay like monthly, and you get it through like the stream it.
Oh,
So
so
it's only like
it's like rent a center.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you can
something.
you can rent
Yeah.
you can rent pay per view.
Now they're gonna take wrestlers away from you if you don't pay.
They're like this wrestling match is blocked out.
Yeah.
You're gonna get blocked. You're
Yeah.
gonna get blacked out.
We'll give you lucha libre.
How? Brought to you get Rey Mysterio.
Oh, yeah, Rey Mysterio. I bet you he's wishing he was in WrestleMania instead of what happened.
It's
to him
only gonna
last
cost you
week.
$619.
And then, we got actually John Cena, who's been one of the most popular guys for a long time. He's actually out of the main event for the first time in a while for the last like 10 years. But
Because he's too busy messing around with his girlfriend.
Yeah, I guess.
She's hot.
and rapping.
Yeah, she's
I
hot.
know,
Yeah.
and rapping. I
Oh,
know.
actually, his girlfriend is one of the Bella twins who are also on the card. They're going to
Yes.
be taking on AJ Lee and Paige. They're
Eric, there's
two
twins.
They're twins.
They're twins.
Easy. I'm
Yes.
the originator of the 2-for-1.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to the Stanley Cup and get another 2 girls 1 cup over there
What's
with those two
up?
with
Hey,
the twins.
They're a lot better looking than Robin and Brooke Lopez. I'll tell you that.
Yes, I concur. I concur, Mr. Shea Whitey.
And then one of the big matches too is Sting is actually making his debut in WWE.
So will he
in a
stop
match.
singing?
So he
Oh no, not Sting from the Police.
every breath you take.
I don't know if you guys knew Eric J used to wrestle. His name was Stink. That was his wrestling name was Stink.
Yeah,
I
mine
don't
was
know.
called my move was the deadly pooter.
You can check out some of his matches on YouTube. I think.
Shout out to the guy that was the recipient of that, the Florida Gator guy.
Yeah, no, the guy I wrestled in was Dirty Dan.
Dirty Dan.
Yeah, so
matter.
so WrestleMania, I think it's actually going down already. But also last night, and one of the final thing is they had the Hall of Fame go down, and Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh,
was accepted to
yeah.
the Hall of Fame. Everybody knows Macho Man.
Of
Randy
course, because of
Savage,
Slim
man.
Jims.
Yeah,
Yeah.
snap into it. Yeah.
Snap into
Oh,
a Slim
yeah.
Jim.
Also, he was Bonesaw on Spider-Man. Was that his name? Remember Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was
played
in
on
there.
that too. Yeah. And we also had Rikishi was inducted. Remember, he used to put his butt in everybody's face.
Oh yeah,
That's my move.
That was
that's-
awesome. That was the move.
That was
of
Eric.
Sting.
He
Sting.
stole.
He
He
stole it.
stole the
But
Eric J move.
Mine was called the beef stew.
Also, the Bushwhackers. We've got Bush. We've got Bush. Hey,
Bush
comes
Bush
back
wins
on.
pole
The
again.
Bushwhackers.
Bush wins the pole again.
I
All
could never
right.
see him because they wore camouflage.
And Diesel, Kevin Nash was inducted. Also, Larry Zbyszko and the celebrity inductee Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that's
Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was inducted into the
Arnold.
WWE
Nice,
Hall of
dude.
Fame. Actually, Pete Rose is in the celebrity wing of that too. They wanted to just put him in some type of Hall of Fame.
That's
so.
cool.
Maybe like it.
Very
He's
cool.
in the Vegas Hall of Fame.
So check it out, man.
Nice. So yeah, once again, that's the WrestleMania review brought to you by the B-Side Sports Show. Give it up, man. Shaye Whitey, that was pretty
Whitey,
good
that was
stuff,
actually
man.
good.
I like
Hey,
that.
I'm gonna
love
go watch
wrestling.
it after this too, man.
I know.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we're
man.
like, oh,
Hurry up, wrap it up, man.
he's all nerdy.
Let's go.
He's got his little
Yeah,
wrestling
man.
ring in the back. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
He's got a 10-minute time limit.
No, he's
to
like,
get to the
I even
match.
got my Eric J. Stink wrestling outfit that I'm gonna wear during the.
it's got a little jock strap for the. He's like,
It has, a
Now
hole-
breathe in deep. See?
it has an opening in the back on the butt.
why are your eyes rolling to the back of your head?
you start sounding
So
like
when he's the word.
hello Batman. So WrestleMania review. So tune in. We'll probably do a little recap on that next week,
we
Shaye. I'd like to hear who won. So you guys have been tuning in, listening to the B-Side Sports Show with Shaye, Eric, and myself, and we're gonna go into our final segment. We're gonna do our shout outs. So we've been having a great time, but let's go ahead and go into shout outs.
I don't know if anyone's ever seen a rabbit multiplying,
That was hilarious,
but apparently rabbits multiply at the B-side.
We're this is the B-Side Sports Show, and I'm gonna give a shout out to Rabbit from the B-Side Show for air spooging Eric J. He walked in and he just kind of air spooged.
threw it out,
and he threw it in his face. And,
though.
and you know what? You
It
know
was like
how
Silence of the Lambs.
no, you know how impressive he was because he came in and did it quickly like a ninja. It was like throwing a ninja star and just disappeared right behind
But
the
my whole
curtain.
thing is like he was going for it. Then he says, "Oh shit, it's almost time," and he ran out here, flung it at me like an orangutan does poop at the zoo.
No, what's even funnier is you guys were making eye contact. Like you guys like you guys saw each other. That was awesome, man. Shout out to
He said, "Putting 5 carrots in my boy E's ear."
shout out to Rabbit, man. So we've been having a great time here at the B-Side Sports Show, and once again, you guys can tune in. And of course, we got the B-Side channel. We've got other shows on our network. We got the album review show coming up pretty soon, and then the forum, and of course the show, which airs on Monday. So you can find them at bsideshow.net. So Shaye, go ahead. Let's get your shout outs.
Oh yeah. I want to shout out everybody that's tuned in. Thank you guys a lot. Thanks for everybody that's following us and checking out what we do, the recordings, the replays and everything like that. Shout out to Wacko for the event last night. That was pretty dope. Shout out to the whole B-Side team, the B-Side channel team, to you guys. And tomorrow we got the B-Side show, like Ralph said. And we actually have Goldie Loke from the East Siders coming through tomorrow. So that's
Nice.
pretty dope. Yeah. And then
Good.
we got also TF Third, Reese Eldon, and Doze with spinning by the homie DJ Gemini, who's really dope. Like, so hip hop fans, if you're into hip hop, check it out on
Yeah.
Monday nights. And then also we got the forum show every other Wednesday. We got the Relevance show with Crazy Race we just did last Thursday. So
Yeah.
I'm here helping to produce all that stuff with Drakk spelling, and man, there's a lot
You're
going on
staying
right
busy.
now. So man,
Good.
B-Side
That's
channel,
very good.
make sure you check it out, and also the B-Side shop here in Covina. If you're in the area, come check us out.
Awesome. See,
And Shaye Whitey, follow me on my Instagram and Twitter. It's pretty funny sometimes, actually.
follow
Believe
me
it or
and I'll
not.
Hey,
follow.
you
Yeah.
a funny man.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty fun. But yeah, thank you guys.
All right on. So Shaye Whitey, and then of course Eric. What do you got for shout outs?
Shout out to the man upstairs, as always. Shout out to all our fans and friends tuning in. Keep doing it. Shout out to my crew, Drakk Spelling. Shout out to my 4 golden girls at home. I got a special shout out to my nephew Tank, who's here with us, who's going to be destroying in baseball his freshman year next year.
Oh yeah, Tank, shout out.
And shout out to the
Thanks for
Tankster.
coming. He's in studio with us.
He's in
That's what's
studios
up.
hanging out, man,
Yeah,
with
man.
Dio. And shout out to the Mark Keppel girls varsity basketball team. They made it to the state championship this past weekend, and unfortunately didn't come out ahead to them. But I mean,
It's all right, ladies. You guys,
they
they
did
got
it.
to the state
They got to the
championship.
state championship. They ran all over competition. They won the Southern California section CIF title. So I mean, that's no small potato,
No, it
man.
isn't. No.
They did big things. So shout outs to assistant coach Gino Torres and the entire staff at the Mark Keppel athletics department. Hopefully we could have him in here.
Yeah,
Maybe he could
absolutely.
give a recap to about the season and how it was.
Yeah.
And finally, this week, I'll be playing all my blank CDs on full blast just to disturb my deaf neighbors.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to be cranking it up.
Hey, you know what? I might join you, actually.
Yeah, right.
We'll Instagram it. on
Yes,
B-Side
but you got to
Sports.
bring your silencer.
Okay. All right.
Speaking of silencers, I'd like to silence my girlfriend. I'm just kidding. I want to give a shout out to Maricela. She's at home. Thank you for everything. She's awesome, dude. She's awesome.
That's awesome.
To my team at Handsome Devil Comedy, Pat Gallegos, he hosted for me last night. Awesome job.
Yeah, what's up, Pat?
Connie Magallanes. I want to give a shout out to Martin Moreno with the host for the Fluffy Tour and Unity Through Laughter. Very funny cat. I want to give a shout out to the Ice House, the Ontario Improv, Sage Whittier, the Comedy Caliente fundraisers, the Southern California Dallas Cowboys fan club. They came out, showed some support at some of the comedy shows, and I've got some shows coming up this week, guys. If you guys want to come out to a show, Tuesday I'll be at Harvell's in Long Beach at 9:00. On Thursday I'll be at the Ventura Comedy Club, hosted by Q1047's Rico and Mambo. I'm actually going to be on the radio on Q1047.
Mambo show.
So I'll be there on Thursday morning. You'll be able to hear me from sometime like 8 in the morning or something like that. And then on Saturday, High Desert, I will be up at the Rustic Tavern up in Victorville. Saturday, April 4th at 9 p.m. I got a solid line of funny guys that we're going to be bringing up. And so we're just going to keep chugging along. And of course, you guys, we want to definitely give a shout out to all the listeners and all the people that keep telling other people about the B-Side Sports Show. Thank you guys for supporting us. To the team, to the crew, to Shaye, Eric, and Drakk Spelling. Definitely shout out to these guys, because without it, this is what we are. We're one big team, and we're here. And once again, if you guys have any input, you guys want to get some dedication, some shout outs or whatever, hit us up at our email.
Yeah, hit me up too. Like if you want, I want to give more shout outs to actually, if you're checking us out, let us know, because I want to shout you guys out.
Absolutely. So you guys want to send us a message, remember, we're on all our social medias at B-Side Sports Show, and then you could also email us at bsidesportsshow@gmail.com.
Oh, the final, I'm sorry, real quick, Duke. They're on into the final four, 66 to 52.
The Dukies.
Yeah.
The Dukies. They dropped the Dukies.
Last minute drama by
Nice.
Shaye.
Shout out to Florida Gator Poopy Pants.
Los Duques.
Los Duques So we'll be able to talk about the final matchups, because we'll find out who's going to win the final four by next week. So tune in. Like I said, you can find Shaye at Shaye Whitey, and also at the B-Side Sports Show. You can find me at Comic Ralph21. And once again, thank you guys. Keep telling everybody, B-Side Sports Show team is out.
Peace.